Hello my dear students. Now we will go for current electricity lecture number 3. In previous two lectures, lecture 1 and lecture 2, you can see here what we have read. We have taken a conductor of length L, across which a potential difference V is applied, such that each electron inside the conductor drifts opposite to electric field. Electric field is directed from positive towards negative, but electron drifts from negative towards positive, which is indicated by this formula for drift velocity. This we have completed. I think this formula should be understood. Only we have read two formulae in which we have considered each electron inside the metallic conductor of mass m and charge minus e drifts opposite to electric field, because electric field is from plus to minus and electron drifts from minus to plus, and drift velocity is given by minus E, capital E, tau by m. E is the charge of electron, m is mass of electron, E is the constant electric field applied across this, tau is the relaxation time, that is time between successive collision. Time of an electron of successive collision during its motion, that is the average time we have taken. Means say one electron is there, it moves, strikes with this electron, it takes some time, again moves, strikes another electron. The successive collisions, we can say the average time between successive collisions through which the electron moves freely, we have taken the average, and that is called as the relaxation time, and that time is a constant for a particular material under considerations. Now when the electron drifts inside the metallic conductor, current is developed, and we have got expression for current in terms of drift velocity, where n is the number of electrons per unit volume of the element of the conductor, that is constant for a particular material. For a copper, n is constant. For gold, n is different than of copper. For all gold, that is constant, whether it is taken in form of a cylinder or it taken form of a your ring, or it can ring, any type of ring, or we can say any ball, any form we can take, spherical, cylindrical, elliptical, any form we can take. If it is gold, that n remains constant. For copper, n remains constant, and it is different in different materials. A is the area of cross sections of this conductor, and E is the charge of electron, Vd is the velocity with which it drifts, and that's why the current we have written, the conclusion was current proportional to drift velocity. Faster the drifting, more is the current. This is the conclusions we have drawn in lecture number 1 and lecture number 2. Taking the help of these equations today in today's class, let me consider this is the drift velocity. In magnitude, you can see now we will get a relationship between current and voltage. We have got the expression for current and drift velocity. Current is directly proportional to drift velocity. Now we will relate the current with the voltage, which is otherwise called as Ohm's law, which you have read in school, V equal to IR. Now here, in magnitude, you can see the very simple derivations. In magnitude, if you listen it, you can remember, it is very easy to remember also. In magnitude, drift velocity, we can say drift velocity, I can say Vd, small v I am writing, Vd equals to E tau by m. Tau is the relaxation time between successive collisions between the electrons. Now m is the mass of electron, is the charge of electrons. Now let this is equation 1. In today's derivations. Now here we have the expression, the current. Now that's a current equals to Na, you can write this expression, N is the number of electrons per unit volume called as the electron density, and A is the area of cross section, Vd is the drift velocity and charge of electron, Na, you can take this expression, E tau by m. I have taken I am using these expressions. For today's, I think you can take the reference as equation 1 for example, equation 2, but in notes actually I have given continuous derivations. So here you can have say 3, now take the value of 3 and substitute here N, A, V, D, E, and that can be written as, you see, you can written as N, A, E into E, N, A, E square, N, A, E square tau by M into E. N, A, E into E, E square tau by M into electric field. You may ask me, why should you separate the electric field beyond this? Because these are constants, you see. If you want, you can change this one. But here, I think that is N, A, E square tau by M into, this is say I. Electric field, and this is a potential. There is a relationship between electric field and potential difference. This well-known relations we know, E equal to V by R. If the distance between these 2 points in which we have applied the electric field, this is the conductor, this is a connecting wire, this is the conductor under consideration, whose length is L, and across this potential difference V is applied such that electric field is set up so that E is equal to V by R. Instead of R, you can write this distance, that is L. Here, that's why in this place you can write, in place of E, you can write V by L is equal to N A E square tau by ML into V. From this, you can solve to write, here I am removing this one. Also, there is no use of this drift velocity now. I am removing this one. I have taken the magnitude. Now, here from this, you can write V upon I. I am taking this I to the right hand side. V is there. V upon I equals to ML. You can see V upon I, it is cross multiplied. ML divided by NA E square tau. So, let me equations number say 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have taken V divided by this I taken to this place, and it is cross multiply ML divided by NA E square tau. I am getting a very concluding formula now. Here you can see. Now, ML, you see, M is mass of electron. You can, I am writing here, M is mass. See these parameters, these are constants actually, and E is charge of electron, M is over E is over, L is length of conductor, A is area of cross section of conductor, so M is over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms are there, 4 is over, and N is electron density. Remember this, electron density. If you able to follow these terms, then you can analyze everything in these chapters actually. So N, and it will also very much helpful for practicals. Remember, I am removing this one, I am getting this final formula now. Now N and tau is the relaxation time, and this is the time between successive collisions. This electron strikes first electron, second electron. This is the relaxation time taken for collisions. Now, since all are constant, you see, the right hand side are constant for a particular conductor. If you have a particular conductor, the length remains constant, area of cross sections remains constant. See, you should analyze this formula only. There is nothing in this chapter. Actually, if you analyze the formula we are deriving, then you can get all the physical concept. Any short questions. I have given plenty of questions with answers in the materials at this time. So that ML, see, M is mass of electron, always constant. The N is the number density for a particular material, it is constant for that conductor. and L, length of the conductor, L is the length of the conductor, is constant for that material, constant. A is the area of cross section, constant for the materials. See, E is the charge of electron, all the times all the times constant for any materials. You see, all the parameters are constant, and tau is the relaxation time, but relaxation time all the times is not constant. It is order of, I have given the last class, 10 to the power minus 14 second, order of. But what happens when temperature increases? If you heat a material or any electrical or electronic devices is heated, whenever electric current flows through it is heated, is a common sense. It is common sense. ଯେତେବେଳେ electric current ଯାଉଛି କୌଣସି material heat ହେଇଯାଉଛି. So that means when the temperature increases, let in general conditions temperature increases say 20 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius, then what happens? When temperature increases, remember this, I will take only a single class also, variations of resistance and other parameters of a conductor with temperature, with some numericals. But here, for simplicity, when temperature increases, what happens? The electron which was moving with certain kinetic energy, half mv square, when temperature increases, means it gets heat energy. Energy is conserved. I think, no. If it gains some heat energy, its kinetic energy increases. It moves faster. Say, you are moving like this, you can collide with, say, I am colliding with this, I am moving like this, I am colliding with this wall. If my speed becomes faster, I will collide quick. I think your idea is clear now. If temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the electron inside the conductor increases. It moves faster or vigorously, velocity increases, kinetic energy increases, means half can never increase, mass can never increase, speed can increase. So if moves with higher speed, it collides quicker, quickly collide karibo, then relaxation time decreases. Remember this one. This is a very important short question. Relaxation time decreases. Then this parameter, this factor, remember, at constant temperature. I think your idea should be clear about this one. This factor remains constant at constant temperature. All knows Ohm's law. You can memorize or learn definitions of Ohm's law. You can tell definitions in the practical whenever you will be asked the oral questions. But this factor is constant, remember, at constant temperature. Now we put this by a symbol R. I am not telling or I am not uttering the word resistance till now, but I am choosing the symbol R because it will be told resistance later on. आमे ताको resistance कहिबा सेथि पई मु R choose करूची. So this entire factor can be chosen as R. This is chosen as R, so that V by I will analyze this one. Resistance I will explain now. V by I equals to R, where R is a constant at constant temperature, and we substitute this factor to a constant, and this you can write also I is equal to V by R, V is equal to IR. You know all these things, but you do not know what is actually R. I will analyze what is R, why should we call it resistance, how can you utilize the remaining part of this chapter actually, including all theoretical concept and practical concept. You will do minimum 3 practicals on these chapters. Everything depends upon this factor. So your concept and idea should be clear about this one. Now, so let me first take the definitions which you can know first. I equal to V by R. So R is constant, I can say. So I proportional V. This is Ohm's law. That means Ohm's law tells that at constant temperature, remember, at constant temperature, current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to voltage applied. More the voltage, more the current. If temperature remains constant, remember, if temperature changes, there will be no linear variation. Ohm's law cannot be satisfied. You can get a curve in practical instead of a straight line. If you plot a graph between V and I proportional to V, graph must be a straight line. Sometimes in practical, students get curve instead of straight line, and they tell that, some tells that this might be some mistake in the instrument. No, there must be some specific temperature to be maintained inside the instrument so that this should be satisfied, and that type of conductor is called as ohmic conductor. If any conductor across which you can apply the voltage, the current does not satisfy this is not a straight line. If the will be called, that will be called as non-ohmic, and if this is true, this is called as ohmic. That's why Ohm's law to be satisfied, Ohm's law to be satisfied, current must be proportional to voltage. That's why at constant temperature, remember this one, at constant temperature this remains constant. If temperature changes, this changes, automatically this factor changes. That's why this is the very well known Ohm's law. Now I can write in simpler form, V by I is equal to R, where I have chosen R is equal to this much. Now I am removing this one, I am putting this V by I is equal to R. I am changing the equation number 5, and you can analyze this one. Over. Now let us see some very interesting result. Now Ohm's law is very easy. Ohm's law you have read in school, current proportional to voltage. Again in the next video lecture we will take the current, how can treat as a vector. We can get the vector form of Ohm's law. We can get vector form of Ohm's law that can be asked as 3 marks questions in board exam. In board exam you may be asked to find out the vector form of Ohm's law. We will see later on, after specifying how current can be treated in terms of a vector instead of a scalar. Then we will discuss this one, vector form. Now we are going everything by the scalar form. Now I think now your idea is clear. So this is R. Just now I have written V by I is equal to R. Just prior to this I have written this one. Now question arises, you can say, or you can write Ohm's law. This formula you have read now. I have written R for this factor. You may ask me, why should call it resistance? Now you see this formula which we have derived now. If you increase this factor, if this is the factor, that is the characteristics of this conductor, entire conductor here, say there is a conductor like this, so this is a conductor I have taken here, and that is the characteristics of that conductor, this symbol, which when increased, R increased, current is decreased. R increased, current is decreased, because V we have applied here. That means this R we call as a resistance, because resistance means hindrance, oppositions, which opposes the flow of current in the circuit, because higher the value of resistance, more is the current. Higher the value of resistance, lower is the current. Higher the value of R, lower is the current. If you increase this one, current decreases. Means what? This reduces the current in the circuit. That's why we call it as resistance. Resistance means opposition. Sometimes you are going to a very something in which you are interested in, and I am there, I am opposing you. You can say, don't resist us. Means don't opposes us. You can this is opposition given by a conductor to flow of current is called as resistance. It is a property of a conductor. Then question is, what is resistance and what is resistor? Can you specify? Resistance is R, and circuit symbol is a rough path. This is a symbolic representation, and that is a fixed resistors, fixed. If you change, if a variable, you can give a symbol like this. This is fixed R. It is variable R. R is nothing available in the market. Any conductor, any material including your body, not my body is also. Any material, anything we pick up from the earth that has certain amount of resistance, whose resistance is higher, whose resistance is lower, whose resistance may be zero, whose resistance may be infinite. Everything has certain amount of resistance. Your body has certain amount of resistance. Since you are a human body having certain amount of resistance, you can oppose the flow of current. Since you are opposing the flow of current, you are getting electric shock. Otherwise, you can never get the electric shock. If electric current smoothly passes through your body, then you can never get the electric shock. But if you oppose the electric current, you can get the shock. Okay? Now, whenever there is oppositions, I can say there is an effect, we can say. Now, these factors we are getting, I think now your idea is clear. Now, this is the fixed, this is the variable. You may ask me, and this conductor now onwards will be replaced. Now onwards, instead of plotting the figure conductors, we will plot like this. This symbol we will use for conductor, and variable resistors, I think you have seen in your house the electrical regulator in electric fan. In electric fan you are having electric regulator, and regulators, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, it may be smooth transistorized. There are different type of regulator. What does it perform the duty in electricity actually? A regulator. तार ना होची regulator. It regulates the current to the fan. It is nothing but a variable resistor. It controls the flow of current, just like the gate in a dam. In dam we are storing the water, we are controlling the gate, we are allowing the flow of water, we can control the flow of water. Similarly, we can have a source V, we can have in path there is a obstruction or resistance, we can control the flow of current. And our basic aim in electricity, how to control the current. Without controlling, if you will not be controlled, means you will never read. You can go anywhere you like. So it is uncontrolled. Whenever there is a control, we can have an effect. Whenever there is resistance, we can have an effect. So that's why we can say this is a fixed resistor, this is a variable resistors. Now onwards, any conductor can be written as, any conductor can be represented as by symbol of this resistance. Over. Now, another important term is there for today's class. Next, we'll go for applications. Specific resistance. It is also very simple. Specific resistance, otherwise called as resistivity. Resistivity, and its symbol is resistance. Symbol is rho. It is called as rho, not density. Resistivity or specific resistance is called as resistivity. You can see this from this formula. It is found that R directly proportional to L. Resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor. More the length, more the resistance. You can see the area here. It is inversely proportional to area. If you combine these two factors, R proportional to L by A, you have read this in school. This implies that R equal to some constant. Remember, some constant L by A. See, I am specifying. This is constant again. What is that constant actually? This is the proportional symbol is removed. We have put this constant, and this constant, proportionally constant, is a constant for the materials. Okay. Now, this is constant for the material. It does not depend on the length of the conductor. It does not depend on the area of the conductor. It remains constant for a particular material. You can see here, you can see. Now you can see R equals to, you can say rho L by A, R rho L by A, and where rho equals to implies that rho equals to, I am removing this one, M by N E square tau, N E square tau M, L by A is here. So rho is this much. We will discuss this in next class, but now I want to specify some important questions in this chapter. I think you should listen very carefully. If you listen it, I think you can answer plenty of questions. In today's class, I have taken the expression for drift velocity and expression for current in terms of drift velocity written here. These two formulae we need actually. And we have taken the magnitude of drift velocity here to get the Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R, where R we have substituted, forcefully we have substituted as this quantity. And resistance we will discuss later on in details on what factor it depends. Actually, these are the factors I have written here. But rho specific resistance, see, mass of the electron, you can never change it. Mass of electron you can never change in normal conditions without relativity, even if in solid, liquid or gases, in conductor, insulator, semiconductor, all the times this is constant. Number density for a particular material remains constant. Electron density means number of electrons per unit volume. Number of electrons per unit volume. Rho equal to m divided by n e square tau. So E is the charge of electron. These all are constant. But if temperature changes, we will discuss in next class, then rho changes, rho decreases. If temperature changes, relaxation time changes. Temperature changes, relaxation time decreases. Okay? Because when temperature increases, electron moves faster, collides quicker, so relaxation time decreases, so rho increases. It is a part we will discuss in the next class. But however, now I am telling, at a constant temperature, when Ohm's law is specified or defined, temperature remains constant. We are defining at a constant temperature. Remember, at a constant temperature, rho remains constant. Rho remains constant. Constant for a material. Because there is no area, there is no length in this side. That's why rho resistivity of a particular, if resistivity will be asked for this conductor, it does not depend on the area, it does not upon the L, because if will be write like this, rho is equal to RA by L, from which unit and dimension can be found out. You may be asked, if length changes, what happens to resistivity? No change. If length changes, resistance changes. If area changes, resistance changes. But this remains constant for a particular material. As long as material remains constant, the specific resistance remains constant. With this, let me ask you questions now. I think now your idea is clear. I am taking this formula also into my importance. Now we are having certain formula, you can R is equal to rho L by A, I am taking to this place. R equals to rho L by A, equation 6, and remember rho is specific resistance, resistivity constant for a material. This mistake you should never made anywhere. But resistance proportional to, I am writing resistance proportional to L, resistance proportional to inversely to area. Area means area is equal to pi r square. Thick wire, motta taro, thick wire has, thick wire means area is more, area cross section is more because radius is more. Thick wire has less resistance, thin wire has more resistance. Again remember, lengthy wire has more resistance, shorter length less resistance. Thicker wire, motta, thicker wire, same material has less resistance, thin wire has higher resistance. But if we will be asked a question, first important, I want to discuss, see, normal problems, whenever I will give you, normal problems data when given you can answer it, forget about this one. If you will be asked a question, area cross section remaining constant, if length is doubled, what happens to area, resistance? Same length thibo, same motta thibo, same area cross section, if length is double, length double kar daba, resistance double hai jibo. If you increase the length, resistance increases. If you increase the area, resistance decreases. But rho remains unaffected. It only depends on temperature. We will discuss in next class. Important concept number 1. So there is a wire. You should try to answer this one of length L. Area cross section A, capital A. Now I will cut it. I will cut it here. I will cut it. 1 becomes L by 2, 1 becomes L by 2. I will separate it out. I will separate it out. Total length was as. So what happens to resistance of this part? R by 2. What happens to resistance of this part? R by 2. What happens to resistivity of this part? Rho. What happens to resistivity of this part? Rho. That means in practicals, remember, you will be given a wire and you will be asked to cut it. If you cut it to 2 halves, the resistance will be half because resistance proportional to length, but resistivity remains unaffected. Now I think your idea is clear with this, and forget about this formula now. You should remember this formula, R is equal to rho L by A. Let me tell you some important concept. R is equal to rho L by A. Another important concept. Just now you have considered keeping area constant. If length down, it is constant all the times. If keeping area constant, if length doubled, it is doubled. Keeping length constant, if area doubled means radius is doubled. Area the double, radius is doubled. That means you can say this reduces. But important questions, if a wire is stretched, remember, double its length. If wire is stretched to double its length, तार को टाणी की लंबा कर दबा, केमती लंबा करीबा ना. Here this was the wire. Now what you do, this is the original length. Now you pull it, टाणी बन गया. You shouldn't ask me how can you pull it. The length becomes twice L. Here the question is, what will be the resistance of the new wire? The reverse way you may be asked. You are unable to pull this wire. You are unable to pull this wire. You can take a wire. You may be asked like this. You melt it. Then again make another wire out of that, whose length will be double of the earlier length. Automatically area of cross section decreases, but volume remains constant. In this type of problems, here volume V equals to constant. That's why this formula should be modified. Length into length, area into length. This formula, see, this is another formula I am giving. Length multiplied here, length multiplied here. Length into length, length square, area into length, volume. So that rho equals to, we can utilize this formula now. R equals to rho L square V. That means V constant, rho constant, R proportional to L square. Then tell me the answer, please. You think over the answer? Now answer is, see, now answer is this. If this L becomes doubled, the R becomes quadrupled. Over. If L becomes doubled, this becomes quadrupled. This remains a, there are plenty of questions are there. Then these are the very common resistance and resistivity. We will next in lecture, we will see how temperature affect the resistance and resistivity. Today's, thank you all.